and having that go-to person, a dedicated go-to person that really understands, what their dreams and goals are, I think makes a big difference. So King's progression advisor, are pretty much their 100% role is to really get our students into a top university and, very specialized programs. They are when they come to Cal State Fullerton, our students are required to meet with our progression advisor even before they leave their home. So before, let's say they register for Cal State Fullerton now, we will connect your student to our progression advisor so that they could have a kind of a pre-arrival, pre-study plans. And then once they're here, we'll require them to meet them twice a month at least, and continue to support them as needed. So I just wanted to highlight on the fact that even at Cal State, we offer this service, and Sean Votor is our progression advisor at Cal State Fullerton, and he works very closely with Cal State folks over at Cal State. And this is type of a study plan also that we show to our students, according to the major. They will have, I think Cal State Fullerton, maybe they offer over 1,000 courses. I don't know, maybe even more than 1,000 courses.
I think it's over 3,500 courses at any given time. So
yes, so even as an American student, I don't think I'll know which courses to register for to be able to also transfer and get credits. And those, that guidance is really given to our students through our progression advisor. So I wouldn't know anything about 3,500 courses at, Cal State Fullerton. So I'm going to give the floor to our experts at Cal State Fullerton. So Christine and Mike, if you could please introduce us to Cal State Fullerton, it would be great.
Cool. Yeah, hi everyone. First of all, Kaylee and Jose, I wanted to thank you for the kind introduction and for inviting us tonight or today in the morning for our guests. So I really appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, we will start now, and Christine and I, we will try to give you guys a little overview so you know a little bit more about the Cal State system, and specifically give you some information about Cal State Fullerton. Yes, you see the map. So when you first heard California State University Fullerton, you probably had no idea where Fullerton is, etc. So let's just give you a little bit of an overview. So California, as you may know, has two public university systems. That's the University of California. Like Haley mentioned, I worked before for UC Irvine and UC Berkeley. And the other system is the California State University. Both really great systems. Roughly the difference, I always try to explain it, that the UC system is a little bit more focused on research. That's why you have there more PhD programs, where the California State University is focusing a little bit more on applied sciences. So it's more career focused. We do not really have PhD programs. We have bachelor's and master's. And a lot of our faculty is still not only teaching, but they are also still working in the industry. So there is, I would say, a closer relationship to the career field, to the industry, to the business world, to organizations, just roughly the difference. But both are two very great university systems. The California State University is one of the largest public university systems in the world. As you can see here on the map, we have 23 campuses. We have close to 500,000 students system-wide. So it's a really, really large system. And among these 23 universities, Cal State Fullerton is one of the largest CSUs. We have, and the slide later will show the numbers, but yeah, we're always one of the first two campuses when it comes down to size, just to give you that information. Yes, and Fullerton, like I said, a lot of people don't know where Fullerton is. You hear my accent. Originally, I'm from Germany. If you would have asked me in Germany, where is Fullerton, I probably also would have known that. but Fullerton is actually located 40 kilometers from downtown Los Angeles in Orange County. So some of you guys may already know a little bit more about Orange County. That's where Huntington Beach is. That's where Newport Beach is, Laguna Beach. And we're also located 1.5 hours from San Diego. So we're between Los Angeles and San Diego. Really, really great location. And Orange County itself is one of the wealthiest counties in the United States. And known also for Disneyland. Disneyland is really close to our campus. Anaheim is almost walking distance. So you have Anaheim with Disneyland, you have the Anaheim Ducks, the ice hockey team, you have the Anaheim Angels, the baseball team. This is almost all in walking distance. So just to give you a little bit of an idea where Cal State Fullerton is actually located. Yes, like I said, theme parks. Yes, we have Disneyland really close to campus. We have also Knott's Berry Farm. That's another theme park. And since we're located in Southern California, close to LA, obviously Hollywood, the beaches, thriving economy, diverse population. It's a melting hub here. That's where Cal State Fullerton and Orange County is located.
And I might add that we have a lot of, when it's diverse population, so south of us is a large Vietnamese community, Little Saigon. We have a large Korean population, Japanese. You can find any supermarket if your child or your student gets homesick, they need something from a local ethnic market. We have great shopping of all kinds of backgrounds. So it's a very diverse population. You might not think about it at first, but when you are here, it's also represented on our campus, the diversity of the population. You don't see any majority of an ethnic group. We have a lot of obviously, a lot of students that come to the campus are from Asian background. They might not speak Chinese. They might look Chinese. But there is a great Chinese community in southern Orange County. And actually, Cal State Fullerton is the only Cal State in Orange County.
Cool.
There are only two big universities. One is UCI and one is Cal State Fullerton. And it's a very very like I said, big county that serves the population and the business and entertainment industry.
Yeah, and since Christine just mentioned the entertainment industry, the predominant industries here in Orange County is the entertainment industry, the tourism industry, the technology industry. Especially, I'm talking to you right now from Irvine. I live in Irvine. Here is a big hub for the technology industry. Banking industry, especially investment banking, is really big in Orange County, and the sports industry. Like I mentioned already, the teams, Anaheim Ducks, Anaheim Angels, etc. Los Angeles with all the teams, Los Angeles Lakers, Clippers, Los Angeles Rams in American football, etc. So that industry is, of course, here also really big. And especially sports. We have a big kinesiology department here on campus. We will talk a little bit about that later. I just wanted to add another industry to give you an idea of Orange County is a lifestyle industry, right? We have a big surf industry. We have a big clothing industry, fashion industry. This is all what Orange County stands for, just to give you an idea. Like I said, we are one of the largest campuses. We have over 39,000 students currently. 1,579 international students from 77 countries. There goes again the diversity that Christine mentioned. You can walk around campus and you will, within 20 minutes, I want to say you see people from all over the world, no matter if it's from Germany, from Sweden, from Korea, from China. It's an extremely diverse campus. And what is really important and what your students definitely would like to hear is that we have over 350 student clubs and organizations, everything from academic clubs to adventure clubs, to sport clubs, etc. You name it, we have it. And usually we always have at the beginning of the semester a big student fair where all the students come out and all these clubs and organizations introduce themselves to the students, which that's usually when our international students register for these clubs and organizations. I met one time one international student. I'm like, did you find anything? He's like, yeah, I signed up for 6-7 clubs. That's really ambitious, studying and 6-7 clubs, but he had a great semester. I mean, he tried to make the most out of it. Yeah, you can go to the next. Oh yeah, that's a little bit data here. Some of our popular undergraduate majors include business administration, computer science, communications, biology, kinesiology, like I mentioned before, health science. Since our campus is so large, pretty much anything you can think of, you can study at our campus, right? The next slide, we will explain a little bit about our colleges, but there's, yeah, you can go back one more time, Kelly. You see some of the rankings here, number 17 in regional universities on the West Coast, number 3 in top public schools in the Western region. So for a public university, we're definitely up there. And CSUF, we always say Titans reach higher. That is not just a saying, we really aim for that. Pretty much any industry, business organization you can think of, if you go out there here in California, you will find our alum, because so many people graduate from CSUF. And yeah, I mean, it's a good starting point, in my opinion, for a career.
Notable alumni, Kevin Costner, that is probably the most famous one that people know of, that has graduated from our university, and he regularly comes back to campus to do events and helps out as an alum with the College of Business. He graduated actually in the College of Business. We also have Nina Shea, who is the head athletic trainer for the Los Angeles Lakers. Like Mike mentioned, kinesiology is one of the fastest growing majors overall, even in our university. So that means kinesiology has to do with sports science. We regularly work with the Anaheim Angels, with the Ducks, so professional athletes. Or with Olympics, we have psychologists, athletic psychologists that work with Olympic athletes. So they have gone to the Olympics in Rio last time. So they're very, very active with their research, but also, like Mike said, with the connections that they bring to their classroom as professionals as well, not just as faculty.
Yeah, we also have one of our alum is a former NASA astronaut. I remember that because Christine, you probably seen that too, right? In the TSU, there's a photo of her out in space. And
Tracy Caldwell is also an alum, and she comes from out of the Natural Science and Math college. So talking about colleges, we have 8 colleges, and we offer 110 degree programs, 55 on the undergraduate or bachelor level, and 55 on the graduate or master level. If you go next, that means that students, whether, say, for example, your students, if they come first to Cal State Fullerton, they not necessarily need to come to a degree, a bachelor or master degree, but they are able to take classes in all these different areas. So again, it's the availability, the choices that we can offer to students from the College of the Art. We have a really large college with music, theater, dance, visual arts. Students put on productions. We have a symphony orchestra. Lots of students go on to Broadway. Our performing arts is very good. They always present at the Kennedy Center in Washington. We have galleries, art galleries, so our students can showcase what they make. Wonderful dance department as well. Halo College of Business is probably one of our most famous, also the largest college in terms of students. It is the largest business school in California because we have so many different departments headed in our College of Business, from accounting, economics, finance, as you can see, management, international business, information, decision sciences. We have advising centers, making sure that students follow, and of course with the guidance of the advisor from King's, that we all work together to make sure that students can take the right classes, because it's a lot of choices. You need to be able to make the right choice as well. College of Communications is houses radio, TV, film, human communication studies, intercultural studies, communications, journalism. It's very well connected. Also, we have a radio station on campus, so students from that college are working in the radio station. Any student, international or not, if they want to work on campus, can have that experience if they are able to fit that into their schedule. College of Education is more on it is not necessarily geared towards international students, because we are educating our teachers, our California teachers, to teach in high schools and elementary schools. Another strong college is engineering, computer science. So from civil, environmental, computer science, electrical, mechanical engineering, environmental engineering. It's a large college. They often do competitions, like they're building race cars, and they compete against other colleges that can be a University of Rochester or University of Technology somewhere else, and they compete with all these technical colleges in doing like a Formula One race car, and they have to come up with their own design. So there is a lot of teamwork involved. You think of big university, big classes. Actually, the classes, most of our classes are under 100 students. So some classes just have 30, 40 students. The ratio between faculty, like teacher or professor and student, is very high. It's not that one faculty teaches 200 or 300 students all the time. So there is a lot of interactions that students can have with the professors. And we might have teaching assistants, but in general, most of the classes are taught by PhD faculty. So the quality of their teaching is quite high. They still do their research, but they are first and foremost teaching and trying to make sure that students, even in this online world where we are right now, that they will get their learning goals, and the level should never be less than you would expect even in a UC or in a top 100 university. So our faculty does have PhDs from those universities. So that just speaks to the level of, or the quality of instruction. College of Health and Human Development, like I said, it's one of the fastest growing colleges. We have nursing, counseling, health science, human services, sports like kinesiology, social work, child and adolescent studies. Students are getting very interested in doing health and human development here. Of course, the College of Humanities and Social Science is probably the college that most students will have contact with, because that college provides all the general education like philosophy, sociology, social science. So that is the biggest college in terms of departments. There are over 20 departments in that college, from modern languages to psychology, like I said. And last, the College of Natural Science and Mathematics houses our chemistry, biochemistry, biology, geological science, mathematics, and physics. Also very important in general education, because all students have to have math and sciences in their curriculum. So it's also a good college that has, for example, our sciences, biological, geological sciences. They work when earthquakes happen. They work on surveys, and students can get involved in that to measure, I know, where the earthquake happened. The department with the is it astrophysics? We have a great department in physics and mathematics. They work with, sometimes they collaborate, whether it's with NASA or different centers, research centers. They still, our faculty are still involved with all the top places in science. We do not have a medical school. We don't teach architecture, and we don't teach agriculture, but the variety is great here. So that's about academics. Next, we might be able to go to our semester program. So students don't have to come, like we said, for a bachelor's, or don't come for a bachelor's or master's. They have the opportunity, because our offering is so great. They can also come what we call to the university semester abroad program. So they can take, they don't have to go through the full admission process, but they can take all these classes that all our students take together with American and other international students. We have spring and fall semesters. Students come on an F1 visa. The minimum unit requirement to carry an F1 visa is 12 units. Of course, it can be more depending on the student's proficiency or, academic ability. 6 academic units is full-time for the summer program that lasts 10 weeks. The offering is a little bit less. Obviously, we can't offer all 3,000 courses in the summer because it's much more condensed. But students can take summer and also winter courses. In order to get into this program, it's the regular application, bank document, affidavit of support for I-20 purposes, as well as a passport copy. And we need some high school or university transcript, whatever academic transcript is available. And of course, we do have an English proficiency score of a minimum TOEFL 61, IELTS 5.5, or an comparable result of English. And King's can provide all the comparable English scores that we accept.
Yeah, and if I may add, if students don't have an official English score, they could actually take our UPP, formerly called UPP, now it's Go Prepared. Completion of level 3 is accepted by Cal State Fullerton.
And so we do not have a language school, so language needs to be done through King's. But we have the credit university semester abroad program that gives students the experience of being in a large campus, academic, high-level academic teaching and an experience, but also the community of a big university, of a public university. This is not a private university, so it's a public university, and it has a very different feel, but it gives you that experience of a university, college, or university experience. So if you go to the next slide. Then because our campus is so large, we also have to have, and we are very strong in supporting our students outside of academia. Students have, they can access a recreation center, so we can talk a little bit about all the amenities that we have. Even staff, Mike goes to the gym there, and not maybe the rock wall, but
No.
we have an indoor track, a gym, Zoom classes.
Basketball courts, they have yoga classes, they have martial art classes, they have pretty much everything.
And we have also what's called intramural sports. Cal State Fullerton is a Division I athletic Division I school. So a lot of students also come. We have a very strong basketball team, track team, golf team. We have soccer, but not all students get to play collegiate Division I sports. So we do have intramural sports. That means these are still, students can make teams outside of the kinesiology department, and they still can compete with other teams from other colleges, just not Division I. So students can still be active, exercise, play basketball, bowling, football. They have dodgeball. They change, even ultimate frisbee. Every semester or every year, depending on how students organize these sports, these team sports, we might even have, I don't know, soccer, obviously, or tennis, or whatever sport you can imagine, from surfing to rowing. Obviously, students can also take sports classes if they want to learn how to surf. We do have a surf class, and they can get academic credit. So those might be more elective courses, but it's possible.
I just wanted to mention, since Christine talked about Division I, I just wanted to mention that if you ask someone in the United States if they know of Cal State Fullerton, most of the people know Cal State Fullerton because we have one of the best college baseball teams in the United States. Our team won several times the championships, the college championship. And a lot of our former players are actually playing in the Major League Baseball. Like, former player right now is playing for the Los Angeles Dodgers. So yeah, I mean, that's really what Cal State Fullerton is really known for in the United States, for our good baseball team. Just wanted to mention that.
And next to the recreation center, and Titan Student Union is the place where students can congregate. We have their food court. I mean, students, we do have dormitories on campus, but very limited. But we do have great food courts and a gastronome, amenities that students can still study. We have computer lounges. We have billiards and bowling. There actually, you don't see it here, but we have Starbucks on campus. So in here, right to the right on that.
It's right around the corner.
Yes. From healthy fast food eating, whether it's Panda Express or Baja Fresh or Pizza Press, those are some kind of places where students can get entertainment, congregate, play, relax, study, wait for their next class, meet with other students, do study groups. So even though it's like it seems like this is a big campus, there are so many opportunities to create small communities and be part of a community. So our campus is very strong in creating communities.
And even in the evening, I mean, we have usually a lot of programs. So in the evening, the students can go to concerts on campus. We have movie screenings, etc., plays like from our theater department. So yeah, I mean, you can pretty much spend all your time there on campus. There's always something going on.
And of course, part of being an international student also means that you have to carry health insurance, and we do have what's called a wellness center or a health center on campus, and they provide medical service to all Cal State Fullerton students. Especially now, it's important to know that students can go see a nurse, go see a doctor. It's not a hospital, so it's more like if they don't feel well, they have lots of activities making sure that students are in a healthy environment. If they need psychological services, students can make an appointment and talk to our psychologists. So they have different activities on how to be healthy, eat healthy, exercise, all the things. So there are many things you can do. Yoga in the Arboretum. We have what's called an Arboretum, a park on our campus, and they do yoga sessions there. They have all kinds of petting animal.
Yeah,
And
that's exactly what I was just thinking about. Yeah, they have therapy dogs and stuff. So if the students are really stressed out, they can pet a nice dog, a cat. Yeah.
And those are definitely things that all students can access, because if you are a Titan, our mascot is the elephant, Tuffy the Titan. So if you are a Titan, once a Titan, you're always a Titan. And you always will strive for higher. So that is true for faculty, students, staff. It's just up to students to get involved and have that experience. Here are a few YouTube videos you can check out. Also, the virtual tour, it's the last one. We added that today because I do think a virtual tour on campus, even though Mike says, oh, I don't like they shot it when not so many people were on campus, but they shot it in January during our break.
Yeah. Pretty much the only day when there were clouds in the sky here in California.
But it gives you an idea of the feeling of the campus, of the premises of the campus, and it's a big rectangle with many buildings, but also many places where students can congregate and have activities and organize concerts and participate in student clubs and get to know the American college life.
Yeah, and I just want to add, although it is a really large campus, what I really appreciate that although there are so many students, so many faculty and staff, it never feels really anonymous. It always feels like a big community, right? Like what Christine said. It feels always like a Titan community. Professors are approachable, staff are approachable. I really appreciate that, especially compared to the UC system where I worked. I loved it there. But like Christine said, I mean, sometimes international students were a little bit disappointed, especially freshmen or undergraduate students, when they go to a class and there are always just TAs teaching the class, right? Because usually they are used to having the professors teaching the classes, and that's how it is in the CSU system. Usually there's always faculty, they have office hours, the student can go to the office hour, ask questions, etc. I really like that it's this community sense.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you guys for your introduction about Cal State Fullerton. I have to say, when I visited the campus, the energy and the vibrance of the campus is really, really great place, I think, for our students to get head started for their American University experience. And I know several of you kind of raised your question. I didn't mean to ignore you, but I wanted to get the presentation done and start asking questions. So let's see. We have some questions I'll go through some of the questions and if we don't get through it, please contact your regional managers to get further information. How many credits earned for 18 academic units in undergraduate? Credit awarded.
So 18 academic units are 18 credits as far as we are concerned.
Yes.
So that is, the unit for us is a credit.
Yes, exactly. And then I think that's same for graduate program as well. And then can F1 students who are currently doing year 12 apply for undergraduate and get I-20 for spring 2021? The year
Yes,
12.
through the semester program, you just have to remember our program that students can take here at Cal State Fullerton, what we call the semester program, does not go through the long winding admission process. So even if now you want to apply or have a student apply with currently doing year 12, we do accept applications for spring 2021. Obviously, we are a little more flexible in our admission requirements, or say they cannot come because of visa delays or travel delays. We are easily moving on to semesters like spring 2021.
Great, thank you. Chemical engineering, I did not see chemical engineering major. Can you help advise on the major? Is there a chemical engineering major?
We don't have chemical engineering, but we do have chemistry. So it very often majors in other countries are named one way, and in the US it's another way, but the strict major of chemical engineering, we do not have it. We have biochemistry and we have chemistry. So a chemical engineering major might still be able to take courses, chemistry courses that are kind of prerequisites for a chemical engineering major later on.
And if I may interject, I think exactly what Christine is saying, because most of the engineering fields are 5 years. I think it's excellent that if somebody wants to do chemical engineering, the fact that Cal State Fullerton has the basis of the courses that are necessary to complement an engineering degree in chemical engineering, then can actually work to the students' benefit, because they can do the first 2 years with the foundation courses in chemistry, and then the last 3 years they can transfer to another institution that does have chemical engineering.
Exactly, yes.
And like Jose said, that goes for many majors. So we do have a wide variety of GE courses and all these intro courses to a major. So the basis, the foundational first 2 years can be taken at Cal State Fullerton.
Exactly. Hi, Didi. For fall intake 2020, I know this is a lot of your questions. It will be online system. So recently, siap system made an announcement about going online for the fall.
Yeah, I mean, for fall, the majority of our classes will be online. How many will be taught in person, we don't know yet. Sorry, there's still a lot of gray area, but at this point, we're still not really sure how many classes will be online and how many will be actually taught in person. Christine, do you want to add something?
No, you're very right. It's very much, we do plan for online. Also, we don't know how the visa and travel situation is going to pan out. And we don't know, our semester starts in August. So there's still some time in between where we still have to plan what courses can be online, what courses can be in person. Definitely an in-person full course is probably not in the stars. By the end of the month, we probably will know more how we will operate class-wise for the fall semester, whether it's mostly online or hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
And we would like to add, if your students have registered and gotten an offer for Cal State Fullerton for this fall, if the travel is possible, we would like to encourage your students to come here and take online courses from Cal State Fullerton, because there may be some courses where your student may be required to, come to classes. So since we just don't know yet, for now, I think, the best thing is to encourage your students to arrive for the fall intake at Cal State Fullerton, and we'll provide the residence for our students. So,
and we have not canceled any program at Cal State Fullerton. So our president of the university said, we're open. People thought we were closed. The Cal State system is going, it's canceling courses. No, we might do online. We might do hybrid. We might do online on Monday and in person on Wednesday, or I don't know what it's going to look like, but we have not canceled our program. So we don't feel yet confident to say, no, don't come at all, because it might not be. So we will know probably a bit more by the end of the month, and we will let, obviously, our partners, King's, will know when we know.
Right, and we don't know yet when the classes, all classes will be face to face. Somebody asked that question, and I think that's still kind of being decided.
Correct.
On how the virus develops. So,
I think one thing that is important to mention is that, for people who do not live in the U.S., it's a very difficult concept to grasp, and that is that we are one country, but in a way we're 50 countries forced to live like one country. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to policies and decisions, I think it's really probably more relevant to watch what the state is doing as opposed to what the country is doing, because we're such a big country, and at the same time we're very different in the way in which we approach several situations. And I think that, to put it in perspective, the state of California has about 40 to 41 million people, and considering the population of California, even though the U.S. we're doing really badly in terms of the number of infected cases and people who have died, in proportion to the population of California, the situation is not as bad as it is in other places. So I think that's why I think, to Christine and Mike and also Kaylee's point, we just need to keep monitoring the situation for the time being, because so much can change, and a lot of it is decided at the local level.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And somebody asked if the fall 2020 intake, if the travel restriction is not lifted, yes, of course we will refund, provide a full refund. And right now we're actually, if you pay the deposit also, and if your student cannot come, we also have the policy of providing full refund on the deposit as well. So, given the current situation, we are being as flexible as possible within a good reason with our students. So, and we are allowing our students to defer to the next intake if that's what's, desired. I think we have...
Yunjin Sung asked about if it's the course in CSUF will be harder compared to community college in California to get high GPA. I would not necessarily be able to speak whether a community college is easier or not easier. If a student is academically inclined, I think it's probably very comparable. Students, even if we don't have the major that students are studying later on, like Jose said earlier, if you want to get your degree, or you want to get your general education, your foundation courses done at Cal State Fullerton, you can then choose later on when you transfer the major that you want to study. So I'm sure that King's provides advising for that. We do have a design, graphic design in our College of the Arts. I was not able to mention all our departments. So just letting you know, we do have graphic design. Actually, we have professors and students that work on Frozen. We're very great with graphic design and animation as well.
And then one thing for everyone to remember is that our students will stay at Cal State Fullerton for 2 years, and their goal is to really transfer to other universities. So even if their ultimate goal is to become a graphic designer or a landscape architect, as long as they could do GE courses, general requirement courses, then it should not be a problem. And the great thing about Cal State is, as Christine and Mike had mentioned, 3,500 courses, are offered. So there should not be any problem in meeting over 2,600, U.S. university requirements. I highly doubt that there will be any problem. So I'm very confident to say that, whatever major I think your student is interested in, I think Cal State Fullerton is a good way to start because of all the offerings. Yeah. And if your student goes to community college, it is more limited in course offerings. So that's something for, your student to think about, especially if they have a very different major than most of, if it's not a mainstream major.
I also think it's a great question to ask, because I think the population of students that perhaps are our agents online who've joined the session, the kind of student that they get would be considering one or the other. And I think one thing that is always very important to mention to agents and students is that community colleges a lot of times offer some advantages, but at the end of the day, one must not forget that in community colleges, the struggle to get the courses that students need is such that sometimes the average time that it takes for a student to complete what would be a 2-year equivalent in a community college is 3 to 3.5 years, because American students always have the priority to choose. And also, it doesn't have a lot of times it doesn't have the wealth of courses that Cal State offers. So in a way, the question about difficulty could be actually explained by having more courses allows that to match the students' preferences better, so that students can actually find themselves and discover their actual aptitudes by virtue of so many choices, as opposed to being limited to a smaller number of classes. So we very much recommend Cal State over the community colleges.
Absolutely. I know I promised to keep it under 1 hour. There's a couple more questions. I'm happy to share the presentation, and please, if you have any further questions, there is no quarantine requirement in the U.S. right now. So if students arrive, they're not really limited to quarantine.
And if students get an F1 visa and an I-20 for fall and decide to postpone, then we obviously will postpone.
Right, so that should be no problem. And then for students who wanting to stay, can she continue to earn a CSU? It is quite complicated if they want to stay. So, there is a way, but I think even though Cal State Fullerton is amazing university, there are still many great choices out there, especially in California. So we would encourage our students to transfer out, because if their goal is not to transfer out, then they should be maybe starting at Cal State Fullerton from year 1 as a regular kind of the non-King student.
Yes, then like you said, then we do have bachelor's and master's degrees, but it would not go through the King's program. It would not go through the university semester broad program. It's a totally different process then.
Right. Somebody else asked about IGCSE, whether IGCSE is accepted. And I think yes,
so.
Right? And grade C or higher with subjects, I think it's 4 subjects. I have to double check, but I think it's about 4.
I think so too.
Yeah. So thank you so much for all your time. And I know it's challenging times for everyone. Thank you for your continued support to King's, and please send students to Cal State Fullerton. We're waiting for your students.
We want 1 student per participant on the call.
Okay.
But sincerely, I really do hope to see you guys soon in Asia. We're just can't wait to travel. So stay safe and take care. And thank you, Mike and Christine and Jose, for today's session.
Thank you, Kaylee, for organizing this, and thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Be safe. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.